Hi children, today we want to discuss about support for socialism. By 1817 onwards, the new idea, that means the socialist idea, spread all over Europe. At that time, the socialists were formed an international body, that is the Second International. That body was known as the Second International. And at that time, in the workers of England and Germany, they also started to forming their own associations to fight for their better living and the working conditions. And these associations, all they have to set up funds, or they have to organize or collect several funds to help the members in times of distress, and demanded a reduction of working hours and the right to vote. In Germany, the workers association, they have to closely with Social Democratic Party, or otherwise SPD. This party was helped, and then this party win that election, and they have to get several parliamentary seats. By 1905, a socialists and the trade unions, they had to formed a new party. That party was known as Labour Party in Britain, and in France they had to formed another party. That party's name was Socialist Party. But until 1914, the socialists never succeeded in forming a government in Europe. They can't do to form a government. And the representation, that very strong figures in parliamentary politics, and their ideas did shape the legislation. But the governments were continued to be that three, no? Who are they? Conservatives, liberals, and the radicals. The government that is continued, or that is run to the, that is the oldest, like the conservatives and liberals, these were vested in the hands of conservatives, liberals, and the radicals. Our second subtopic was the Russian Revolution. What is a Russian Revolution? That means we already studied that in Russia, the government was controlled by the monarchical form of government. So in the government of Russia, through the October Revolution of 1917, the socialists, they have to took over the government in Russia through the October Revolution of 1917. Here our question is, what is Russian Revolution? The fall of monarchy in February 1917 and the events of October are normally called the Russian Revolution. What is Russian Revolution? The fall of monarchy in February 1917 and the events of October are normally called the Russian Revolution. Now, the next one is the Russian Empire in 1914. We know that the rulers of Russia known as Tsar. Here in 1914, Tsar Nicholas II, he was the emperor of Russia, and here in its empire included the territories around Moscow. Then it included current day Finland, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, and some parts of Poland, Ukraine, and Belarus. These are included in the Russian Empire. And this empire stretched in the Pacific, that is in today's Central Asian states, as well as Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. The majority religion was in Russia, that is the Orthodox Christianity. The majority religion was the Russian Orthodox Christianity. It had grown out of the Greek Orthodox Church. But in this empire, in Russian Empire especially, it was included different types or different religious peoples like the Catholics, Protestants, Muslims, and the Buddhists also included in the Russian Empire. Now, the next one is the economy and society of Russia. At the beginning of the 20th century, the vast majority of Russia's peoples, they were the agriculturists. about 85% of the Russian Empire's population, they also earned their living from agriculture. That means in Russia, the whole majority of the peoples were depending upon the agriculture. And in France and Germany, the proportion was between 40% and then in the 50%. In the empire, the cultivators were produced for the market as well as for their own needs, and Russia was a major exporter of grain at that time. That means at the beginning of the 20th century, Russia was a major exporter of grain because the main occupation of the Russians was, that is, the agriculture. And the next hand, that is in the case of the industry. In industry, the prominent industrial areas were, that is in Russia, the St. Petersburg and Moscow were the prominent industrial areas. Several craftsmen were, they have to work or they have to produce several items, but in the large factories or existed alongside the craft workshops. Many factories were set up in the year of 1890s. And at the 1890s, the Russian railway network also extended and the foreign investment in industry also increased. Then coal production also doubled and several iron and steel factories also started. And in the 1900s, some areas of factory workers and the craftsmen were almost equal in number. But here most of the industry was owned by, that is, the private industrialists. The government supervised industry factories to ensure the minimum wages and limited hours of the work. But what happened in this? The private property of the industrialists, they know that their working hours were very long and they have to get the very low wages. And in the craft units, some small workshops, their working day was 15 hours. That is too much. Their working hours was 15 hours and accommodation also very bad. Their dormitories, that is very varied from rooms to dormitories. Then the workers were divided into several social groups. Some of the groups were the strong link with the villages from which they came. Then others had settled in cities permanently. Workers were divided their own skills. Here one example also they have to show in our textbook, that is the metal work of St. Petersburg. In St. Petersburg, metal workers, they have to consider aristocrats among other workers, and their occupation also demanded more training skill. Here, women made 31% of the factory labor force by 1940. That means the women were, they also ready to work in the factories. But they have to get very low wage compared to men. Then divisions among the workers, that is, showed themselves in their dresses and their manners also. The workers were, at that time the workers were formed their own associations and they have to help the members in times of unemployment for giving the money or several other items or the financial hardships in such associations were very few. These associations were always helping the members of the associations. Despite in these divisions, they have to the workers were started to work or strike work when they disagreed with the employers or about the dismissal or work conditions. Sometimes the authorities or the owners, they have to dismiss some of the workers. So these associations, they joined and they have to start some strikes against these type of dismissals. And the strikes took place like in the textile industry during 1896 to 97 and the metal industry during 1902. These were the to examples. In the countryside, the peasants cultivated most of the land, but the crown, like the nobility and the Orthodox Church, they also owned the large properties. Like the workers, peasants, in between the peasants, they also divided. And they were also deeply religious. The peasants were believed in the, or they have to think, or deeply the religious. In a few cases, they had no respect for the nobility. They are not ready to respect the nobilities. The nobles also got their power and position through their services to the Tsar, not through the local popularity. They were supporting to the authority of the Tsar. This was unlike the France were during the French Revolution in Britain. The peasants were respected nobles and fought for them. In 1902, a large scale in South Russia, some of them were refused in Russia. Many of the peasants were refused to pay their rent, and they even murdered to the several landlords. And in 1905, these type of incidents took place in all over Russia. The Russian peasants were different from other European peasants, and their land also, they pooled their land together periodically and their commune. The commune that is known as mir. These are divided according to the needs of the individual families. Next one is socialism in Russia. Before 1914, in Russia, all political parties were illegal, not the legal validity. In 1898, the Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party also founded. These were founded by the socialists. They are respecting to the Karl Marx ideas. Then, after that, the government policies, and it had to operate an illegal organization. And they have to set up several newspapers, and they were started or organized into several strikes also. And some socialists, Russian socialists, they felt that the Russian peasant custom of dividing land periodically made them natural socialists. Then, the socialists were active in the countryside through the late 19th century. They formed a new party that is known as the Social Revolutionary Party in 1900. This party, they have to struggle for peasants' rights. And this party also demanded land belonging to nobles be transferred to peasants. The Social Democrats were disagreed with socialist revolutionaries about peasants. And finally, this party also divided two. One is Bolshevik and another one is the Mensheviks. This Bolshevik party led by Vladimir Lenin. And Lenin was thought in a repressive society like Tsarist Russia. And then Mensheviks, that they have to thought that the party should be open to all.